Peace and love, and welcome to Overcoming Anxiety and Understanding the Complexities of Stress. It is I, ZaZa Ali. Thank you so much for being a part of this program and for investing in yourself and for entrusting me with my perspectives and with the information that I'm going to provide you in order to help you on this journey. Anxiety is something that I have continually dealt with over the past 10 years, and stress is no stranger to me. So I felt that it was necessary to share with you guys some of the tools that I have used, a spiritual perspective, in order to help me navigate those landmines. Included in this particular group coaching session as well as overall program, you have this intro video, and then the group coaching session, which goes into the complexities of stress as well as fine-tuning the way we look at anxiety, depression, and stress, looking at it from a perspective of spiritual and emotional well-being opposed to just mental illness. There's the worksheet entitled Make Peace with Yourself, which is an overview of a lot of the energetic leaks that we have and things that are kind of playing out in the backgrounds of our subconscious minds and our inner being, that we don't really realize, that lead to stress and anxiety and despair. The worksheet Internal Purge is a forgiveness process in order for you to let go of people, places, and things that are, again, energetic leaks that are holding you back. There is a forgiveness meditation. It is 22 minutes. And it is language that is focused on letting go of the past, releasing people that have wronged you, and forgiving yourself. If you have, if for whatever reason, if you're holding on to guilt, shame, or embarrassment for things that have happened to you or things that you've done to other people, it is a language in the meditation that will help you to release and clean up that energy. Worksheet. The next worksheet, is When Water Starts to Mold, and it pretty much underscores the importance of us as human beings growing and changing and evolving, and that it is a requirement for life and for health and for well-being. And many of us suffer from anxiety and depression and stress because we are not evolving. We are not growing. So we are experiencing mental and spiritual and emotional mold. I think that's pretty dope. Not that we're experiencing it, but that when I coined that phrase to myself, I was like, that's fresh. The worksheet, Where is Your Center, helping you to discover or at least start to think about your divine purpose, why you're here, and what are those things that really make you feel invigorated and inspired about your life. And then we have a 42-minute video. It starts out with a breathing exercise that will help you again during, times of adversity or stress or anxiety. And then there's also a 25-minute yin yoga practice. And that yin yoga practice is me practicing some basic yoga postures and also incorporating the breathing exercise that we go over in the beginning of the video. So it's a culmination of the breathing exercise and then the yin yoga practice, which also incorporates the breathing. And then the Reprogram Your Subconscious Mind meditation, which is 25 minutes. That is to listen to at night before you go to bed, right when you are falling asleep in that theta brainwave state, in order to reinvigorate and reprogram those negative mental and spiritual and emotional blocks. And the brain is very susceptible to, taking information in or to changing the narrative, so to speak, when you are falling asleep in that theta brainwave faculty or state of being. And then last but not least, the ebook is included in this program. Ebook, Practical Steps to Wellbeing. It is a 54-page ebook that covers everything from the science of breath to prana and energy to yoga postures, to the importance of fasting and how to fast if you've never fasted before, my recommended herbal supplements and vitamins, understanding prana and chi and the importance of breathing and life force, how to identify genetically modified food, conventional foods, etc. So it's a wide array of my contribution when it comes to health and well-being that is also included in this program. All right. So enjoy, take this process seriously. and really work through those worksheets. Once you finish the, initial videos, and then, the meditation videos, the yoga, all of that stuff, like I've opened up, or I've provided a full spectrum of a full frontal attack, so to speak, a full court press against anxiety, against stress, and against depression. So please enjoy. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Thank you for being a part of this program, and email me and let me know your feedback, and let me know if you have any questions or anything else that I can assist you with. Peace and love. The most prominent underlying cause of anxiety is living beneath our potential. We have goals, dreams, and aspirations that we either think we don't deserve or don't know how to make manifest in our lives. And again, when people talk about anxiety, if you think about it, it's always talked about from a mental health perspective, and I get it. I understand, especially when you understand the power of thoughts, and that your thoughts are actually what kind of set the tone for how you feel. And, if you have a chemical imbalance, and there's a lot of things that are included in that. But at the root cause, from what I know about myself, there's nothing I fear more than not living up to my own potential. Nothing. There's nothing I've ever feared more than not living up to my own potential. So when you really start to peel back the layers and look at people and what they've experienced in their lives, some of us have trauma from our childhood that we are still dealing with. Some of us, never got over that first broken heart, whether it was our father or our first relationship. Some of us really, really fear poverty. And because we fear poverty, we stay in an ongoing cycle of poverty, because that is the frequency that we are resonating on. But at the core of it, and this, makes it feel a lot better to me when I help clients and when I help people with really trying to understand why they're stuck or can't get to the next level. There's no reason to beat yourself up. You want a life of well-being. You want a life of abundance. You don't want to have to be worried about money. You don't have to be worried about not being able to trust the people in your circle, not having access to the finer things this life has to offer, whether it's financial and material, or whether it's access to the right type of health practitioners, access to, programs and organizations that can assist you in whatever your life's desires are. So for me, I think it is a gross misrepresentation and maybe knowing or unknowingly of the mental health industry and of all of the different umbrellas that talk about depression and that talk about anxiety, that we really aren't emphasizing the fact that all human beings have a divine right to a certain quality of life, to a certain, love, peace, happiness, and abundance. And because many people don't have access to that, it's breaking them down mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. So I created this breakdown of the 4 selves. The mental health constitutes education, being a seeker of knowledge and intelligence, your ability to communicate. Are you a master or a servant of language? And that's not just how you speak and how you communicate with other people. It's also about how you interpret language. Your willpower, your discipline, and your focus, being able to, fast, for instance, that is a prime example, a perfect example of willpower, and being able to stick with that. Harnessing the power of thought, monitoring your thought processes. They say more than 70% of the average person's thoughts are negative per day. And when you really start to understand the science of the thinking process and how you're emitting a wave out into, the universe that eventually will come back to you in the form of your experiences in life, you understand how important that is. If you think 70%, if you think 50% negative thoughts per day, then there should be a correlation in your life of that reflecting in your relationships, your business deals, your partnerships, your friendships, your, organizations and things that you're relative to, or that are relative to you. That doesn't mean that 50% of your friendships will be negative. It doesn't mean that 50% of your business interactions will be negative, but it does mean that you are exuding a lot of negative energy that is going to come back in one point or another and touch all of these different aspects of your life. Definition of an energy leak, which is an ongoing energetic puncture. If you think of a waterbed, if you If a pin or a sharp point hits that water bed, it's going to explode. Or a balloon, if a pin pops the water balloon or punctures not the water balloon, the balloon, it's going to pop, right? So an energetic puncture, an ongoing energetic puncture, usually attached to personal relationships, traumatic experiences, negative thinking, and emotional patterns that drain the life force energy. These leaks weigh heavy in the background of everyday life and are hard to pinpoint as the reason for being tired, angry, or frustrated. Depending on the specific issue, energy leaks can drain the equivalent of an 8-hour shift, expressed through emotional energy opposed to physical behavior. This is a part of an actual worksheet that you're going to receive with the course, so you'll be able to actually sit down and focus on this. But you can spend or exude the equivalent of an 8-hour physical shift, whether you do physical labor or whether you're office administration or whether you do a lot of running around, maybe a nurse or something that requires a lot of physical activity. A lot of times when we have these things kind of roaming around in the backs of our mind, we are exuding a lot of energy, mental and emotional and spiritual energy, focusing on these things, whether consciously or consciously. This is why a lot of people are always tired. A lot of people are always lethargic, not motivated, because they don't even realize that there is a part of their mind that is constantly attacking, for lack of a better word, or judging or criticizing or focused on things that are not healthy. And it is taking up a lot of mental and emotional and spiritual energy. If water sits in one place for too long, it starts to mold. This is a metaphor for who we are as human beings and what we are here to do. Every aspect of the human being, mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical self, requires change, growth, and challenge to keep from being stuck, therefore stagnated, therefore limited, therefore out of alignment with the Creator and our divine purpose. If we are not moving and making progress in our mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical selves, we will start to mold. That's what anxiety is. Anxiety is emotional and spiritual and mental mold. There is something inside of you that is saying, I don't want to do this way anymore. What does that mean? What is my center? What is my divine purpose? What is the essence of my being? What is my goal for being here? What does my soul want to experience? Deeper than the regular rudimentary stuff that we think about every day. I started really thinking about that. Am I enjoying my life? Am I enjoying my work? Am I enjoying my experiences? Am I enjoying my days? Am I enjoying waking up? Am I enjoying going to bed? Like, what is my center? And that's my question for you. Where is your center? And does your life represent freedom or bondage? Because we are not here to be in bondage. We are here to be free. Prosperity consciousness. Do you think about prosperity? Do you believe that you're worthy of prosperity? Prosperity is defined as a successful, flourishing, or thriving condition, especially in financial respects, or good fortune. So when we talk about prosperity consciousness, this is not just having a good day or having one win, so to speak. This is about having a state of mind, a consciousness that is with you, that is embodied by everything that you do and everything that you touch. I've experienced, and this is a question for you, I've experienced prosperity in these areas of my life. I've experienced prosperity in these areas of my life. I've never experienced prosperity in these areas of my life, physical self. The background noise of life, family problems, social media, politics, racism, technology, lack consciousness everywhere, lack consciousness, just like prosperity consciousness, doesn't just mean that you have an issue with money per se. It's also, it's an overall consciousness. People who are pessimistic, people who always look at the worst case scenario, people who have low expectations, people who have trust issues, right? That's a lack consciousness. As with it's the other end of the spectrum to prosperity consciousness, as far as trusting other people. So this is why, again, sometimes the question is more important than the answer. If that's your background and that's your history, number one, those are one of your master teachers, your parents being narcissists, because it automatically gives you a different level of empathy, a different level of compassion. Your parents don't listen to you, so you automatically become a better listener. Your parents always think you're lying or think the worst of you or impose negativity on you. That means that you will have a better understanding and a better level of empathy for humanity and for the people that you come in contact with. So it's your master teacher. Because there is a ongoing issue in our society with unhealthy communication and lack of communication, a lot of times we end relationships, we end friendships, we end connections with business partners in a very unhealthy and stagnated way. Meaning that final conversation or that final meeting of the minds to say, look, this is what you did to me. You hurt me. You wronged me. I didn't like this. I didn't appreciate this. I felt like you could have handled me better. Or, the variations of how that could play itself out. I'm so grateful that I had you in my life, even though we're coming to the end of our relationship. You helped me in this way, and I've grown as a woman or as a human being from, our relationship. Being able to end and to resolve those relationships in a healthy way is very important. And sometimes, you have to be the bigger person. But again, those are energetic leaks. When you have these relationships that at one point played such a major role in your life, and then all of a sudden they're just dissolved and there's no real closure. It's important that you get closure. There's no reason for anyone to trust you if you don't trust yourself. You deny or you kill off and you minimize your ability to trust yourself by continually doing things that are harmful to you, by continually being involved in a relationship that is not in your best interest. If you are serious about establishing trust with yourself or reestablishing trust with yourself, which in turn makes you trustworthy, then you have to take this seriously. You have to take your breathing seriously. You have to take time to go out and walk and exercise and do things that calm your spirit, so that your mind and your heart and your body and your spirit knows that you do value yourself and that you are willing to fight for or to work for a higher quality of life. The leading cause of anxiety and stress is living a life that does not reflect your potential and your dreams. Be careful, and I'm going to leave you with this. This is your 4 rooms and your health and well-being. You got to take this serious, because guess what? You could be in the same space 5 years from now. Wherever you are, whatever's going on with you, whatever you're struggling with, whatever is causing your anxiety, causing your depression, causing your fear, causing your internal conflicts, if you don't take yourself, your health, the fullness of who you are, your 4 rooms seriously, you can be living the same life 4 years from now. You can be living the same life 10 years from now. Peace and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this breathing and basic yoga lesson that we are going to experience today. This is going to be for beginners all across the spectrum. And obviously our point of emphasis is dealing with anxiety and stress. So during all of the postures, whether we are seated, whether we are standing, or in a flow of movement, we really want to concentrate on our breathing. And before we get into the yoga postures, I'm going to specifically do a rhythmic breathing pattern, just so that you can assess where you are as far as your breathing, and also so that you can realize how deep your breath can be, how deep your breath should be, and how understanding the power of breath is so central to calming your central nervous system, and being able to pull yourself out of any uncomfortable or overwhelming situations. We give thanks for this moment. We give thanks for positive energy, for love. And let's swing our hands up above the head and bring them back down. And just let the rhythm of the breath follow the hand movement, swinging up above the head and then swinging them back down gently and slowly. And now bring the left hand, take the right hand and grab the left hand and lean the body pushing back on the heel of the right foot. Hands beneath the shoulders and looking forward with the back straight and the neck elongated. Push back in that heel to feel that stretch in the calf and in the foot area. Touching, big toes are touching and the knees are extended out, and walk the hands forward. And let the chest and the forehead melt towards the floor. This is a resting posture. And again, here, just focus on your breathing, being mindful of your breath, mindful of your energy, making sure there's no wasted energy, no tightness in the face and in the jaws. Relax and breathe. And now turn the palms upward. Body stays in the exact same position. Palms are facing upward. And continue to breathe. Nothing matters except this moment, wherever you are right now. Staying present. Now let's bring the arms out to a T. And then wrap the right arm underneath the left arm. And I'll show you one more time. Bring the arms out to a T. And then wrap the right arm underneath the left arm. And bring the hands as close together as you can get them. You can see the backs of my hands are touching each other. If this is as far as you can go, then you can stay there. If you are able to twist your hand around so that the palms of your hands are touching, you see me doing the clapping motion. That's the objective.